It is April 23rd, 2020, and today's COVID-19 litmus test is done with the Aurum Lenormand. This is a term for gold in Latin, aurum, and you can definitely see why when you look at these beautiful gold gilded edges, and each of the cards has a beautiful flash of gold that threads through it. Absolutely beautiful. That's the bear card. It also comes in a very sturdy magnetic box. That is gorgeous for safekeeping. Absolutely beautiful presentation. And the three random cards that we got today are Tower, Stars, and Whip. And remember, when we're reading, this describes all of the things before it, and this describes this. So this is kind of like the center of what's happening, and these two talk about how it's happening. So a good way when you're learning is to take, say, a list of words that this might mean, a list of words, and just put it in a row of what this may mean, and a list what this may mean, and then start putting the three together. You can either make little flashcards and do it and keep them in the same order, so you can just kind of reference back and forth of all the different combinations you might get. But let's talk about, so for Tower, things related to the COVID-19 we may get. This is, remember, a card that's about structure and organization. So it's corporations and their structure. It's about government and its structure. It's about rules, policies. It's about the establishment. When we think of psychology, this is about isolation and boundaries. So and strictness. It's not about loneliness. I know people think of isolation and they immediately equate it with loneliness, but loneliness indicates more of a sadness and a grief, and that would have more to do with the burdens of the cross. But this is about the actual isolation itself, being separated or bound off from something. Stars, the words that we would use to describe this card. So if we would make keywords for this, we would get things like hope, spreading out or metastasizing, many of something. It's about networking. That's how it came about to mean the internet, all that networking and flash spreading out that it does. It's about lots of something, many of something, and it's about guidance and navigation. Okay, then if we take a list of words of what this may mean, I'm not going to use a sex meaning for this card because we are talking about the pandemic. We'll just talk about it is about something that's repeated over and over, or it's debated, it's critiqued, criticisms, protests. It's about something that's over and over argued, hotly debated, that sort of thing. So the first thing I saw when I saw these three cards was that guidance toward structure is hotly debated. And you'll see that just about everything I'm about to talk about kind of goes back to that. But they all do have different nuances and mean things that are a little different. So we have, for example, hope for the establishment is criticized. Hope for the government, hope for the establishment of rules and boundaries, all these things are criticized. Guidance from the government, whether it's small or large government, is critiqued, protested. Hope for corporations is hotly debated. So how do we get these cogs moving? It could be about the spread within or about the corporations is debated. So whether it's a spread of the virus in these places, or how to prevent boundaries, how to create a boundary, or whether it's about the spread of getting stuff out to people is debated. Like corporations, think of what's happening with toilet paper right now and getting that out. And these all stem back to the structure of how that is made and distributed. Also hotly debated. Also the masks, that sort of thing, having enough of those. So the structure and how the structure is networking or spreading things out is hotly debated. If we go to the meaning of isolation and boundaries, then we're talking about boundaries spreading, getting more bigger, getting out there to different places is hotly debated or protested. It's about isolation everywhere, spreading out is hotly debated, or broadening, getting out from the isolation is hotly debated. Navigating these boundaries is hotly debated. So these boundaries, how do we do this? This is all being protested, criticized, that sort of thing. So whether it's the establishment of government or corporations, or the structure in our homes, in our bodies, or the structure of something really, really small, like the structure of this pandemic and how it spreads, is hotly debated. That's all what's happening in today's litmus test. More about this beautiful deck is listed in the comments under this video that you'll find a link on how to get it. And highly recommended. You can see those sparkles moving around. Absolutely beautiful gold embossing.